Hi guys, in today's episode of Taylor Talks Trades, we are with Alex Mchendrie. He's from the kitchenwrapper.com. He's telling us about his journey on building his business through TikTok, wrapping kitchens, and everything in between. I hope you enjoy. Alright Alex.
Right mate, good.
Welcome to Taylor Talks Trades. I'll start where I always start. How did you get into the trades, mate?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it's a trade, know what I mean? So everybody will go daft. Mate, like everybody else says to you, I kind of fell into it. I don't know if I fell into it. I think I may have willed it into existence, know what I mean?
Yep.
Like when I left school, I couldn't get a trade. I was dying for a trade, couldn't get one because school just wasn't my thing, mate. It just wasn't for me. Like school was a laugh to me. I didn't take it serious, so I came out hardly any standard grades, if any.
Yep.
And well, none worth telling anybody about. So you were going to these interviews and I wouldn't have employed me. There just wasn't. So my ma's like, well, you need to go and do something. So I went to college, done introduction to construction. But the introduction to construction was basically you did 1 day a week a different trade.
Right.
So it's like for a year I had learned a wee bit of every single trade. And the idea was meant to be when you come out of it, guys like yourself would maybe come in and go, right, who's the tap, who's good in this trade? And all these boys, I never got that either because I was good at it, but my attitude stunk.
Oh, really?
Oh, my attitude was so bad.
Was it just that, just having a carry on with things like,
mate, everything was just
really
a laugh to
yourself,
me, man.
right?
It's like, everything was a joke to me. People would be in class and I'd be up finishing a pool tournament, you know what I mean? It's like, and then I would come down, but then I would come down the quality of what I could do. I was always good with my hands, I could do it, but and that's what the lecturers would say, look, he's good, he can do it, but you take him on a site, you're not going to be, you'd be all on me, you'd be like, what's he doing, you know what I mean? Like, flinging mortar at people and all that kind of stuff. We used to go around, you were with the mortar, putting it down people's trousers. Then when you were in doing welding, you would have the stick, you'd be poking people's overalls with and all that, like, just thinking you were funny, and it wasn't, like, now when I think back, it's no. So I left that. Had to go to college again because I think my mum would have lost her benefits. You need to do something. Went to college to do computing because one thing I've always been good at is computers. And that all came from being a wind up as well. So how do you wind your pals up? You get Photoshop out and you start photoshopping them into stuff. So I learned how to do that and I was good at it because it was just constantly just emailing my mates and all that, winding them up.
That's crazy.
And then done computing for a year, never even finished it because I just wasn't interested. I done the bits I liked and then didn't do it. And then I was on the brew for a year and the woman in the job centre was saying, look, you need to at least go for interviews. She gave me a job to go and see a guy and I went in and he took away all the questions that you would get asked about attitude. They didn't know me. All he wanted to know was, could I cut a motor out on Photoshop and print it? And I could do that, no bother. And he's like, that's your job. Gave me the job, started on the Monday.
Brilliant. And
I was in the sign industry for years. And then I was like, I need to do my own business, man. I always thought that I knew better than these guys that are running their own business. Anybody, you know what I mean? You soon find out you don't. These guys are obviously, they've got big businesses for a reason. But in my head, it was like, no, I'm no. And then my attitude still wasn't great. It's like, I think some bosses, it's a love-hate relationship. Now, I've got bosses who'll come back and they'll talk to me all the time and they want to know how I'm doing and they're happy for what I'm doing because they see, no, you're found what you do. Like,
it's important that you've managed to find that as well.
Aye, but these bosses, they know I'm in the trenches with them. Like, if there's like 36-hour shifts, I was going out and doing them. I'm doing 24-hour shifts. I mean, I was getting it done with the older I got. But if I didn't like you, I didn't like you. So it's like, I'm very, like, to a fault, I'll say what I'm thinking. And sometimes, like, if we're on a, you know, it's like, if you're on a long shift and tensions are getting high, there's guys that will just go away and no say it and then just leave it and forget, I didn't. But I'd fester on it. So it's like, I would do it and then Monday morning, I'd be in sitting in your office whether you wanted me in there or no. And it's like, and as much as you go, you're a good employee, it's like you can't have somebody who's just that blasé. It's just going, I'll just go in your office, I'll just sit down. It's like, no, we're having the conversation now. That's an absolute joke. I'm not doing it again. So I think one of my bosses like, Alex, you just need to do your own thing, mate.
You think you're kind of like set for the self-employed kind of journey then? Starting your own business.
I had to do it, man, because that's when I started to realise that being the boss isn't as easy as what I thought it was. It's like, if I thought 24-hour shift it should have been avoidable. That's because you're an idiot and I'm no. But I'm the one that willed that through. I'm the one that done it. But I'm going to tell you on Monday morning that you're an idiot for letting it happen. So things like that, it's like I need to do my own things.
And would you change that if that was now, or like?
I don't even think I could, mate.
It's just who you are.
I think I would have a different attitude towards the guys that are doing it now, but I think it's still a case of, if I think you're an idiot, you're getting told you're being an idiot. The same way I'm harsh on myself as well. It's like if I'll go, what was I thinking? Why did I do it? Why did I not organise that the way?
At least people know what they're getting off you, the way.
Well, that's it.
Spade's a spade, kind of.
Well, that's exactly.
Whether they like it or no, it's.
Aye, a spade. With me, it is, mate. As a spade's a spade. But left, I was like, right, I'll try and do it. I'll be a sign company. And the sign company's so hard, man. Like, honestly, mate, it's like you just need the competition. You probably know this, right? There's sign companies everywhere. And there's guys constantly trying to just get your business, And you need all this kit as well. So you need thousands of pounds worth of kit. I tried to start a sign company with a 350 quid plotter, thinking that I knew better. And it's like, it just didn't. And then my missus we moved into a new house, and my missus had got like furniture, but she wanted it a different colour. And she was messaging a guy on Facebook, and I'm going, I can do that. And then I done it, and then I was looking at his Facebook, and I was like, this guy's killing it, man. There was all his reviews. He was just a guy just doing. He was a sign fitter. And he's just found a wee niche in the market. I just copied him, and then done my ma's kitchen, and it just snowballed for there. And then that's me. I've not looked back. I have looked back because I've had two kitchen wrap companies now.
Right. Okay.
So the one that everybody's seen today isn't the one I started with.
Right. So what were they now? Kitchenwrapper.com.
Aye. So I had another one. I'm not going to say the name of it because I sold all the assets and the website and all that. But I had that. It was doing well. We had a showroom. We had everything. I had staff. Everything was going well. And then COVID hit. Right. And all of a sudden the phone was blowing up. And we had months of people wanting their deposit back. And they were cancelling. But my wife was pregnant at the time. So other guys that shouldn't have been doing it, they were going out and doing the jobs even though they shouldn't have. See, when I came back, all the money that I'd give back to people thinking they'll book back in, they're like, no, I've already had the job done off somebody. I've had it done off somebody else. And you feel like going, you shouldn't have, but it's like, I've got your vinyl sitting here. The only reason I'd gave them their money back was just give them peace of mind. Because I'm like, well, I'll give them their money back now. The vinyl's sitting there, and then when I come back, then I'll get paid for it. And it just didn't.
That's a shame, actually, because you've done the right thing there, and then.
I had to. Our thing is, it's like with my missus being pregnant, it's like whether people believe that or no is totally irrelevant to me. All I knew was I just wasn't even taking the gamble. So it's like I just sat in the house for months playing Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, it was brilliant, man. It was like one of the best years of my life. Just me and my missus, her pregnant, just us two, our own wee bubble. Just doing our own thing, and then when it came back to getting back to work, we just never kicked off again. So I got offered a job with another company. And the guy's like, I'll buy I'll buy your website, everything that you've got off you, get you on your feet again. And I was grateful for that because at the time I just wanted a way out. It's like
it's what you needed at that point.
It was a constant fight. You know what I mean? Every day you were going to work and you were going. Having mental breakdowns, maybe not a mental breakdown, right?
No far over.
You're driving to work and you were getting anxious, you were getting...
that's understandable.
And it's like, guys were coming in asking for wage rises and you're sitting going, I don't even know if I can afford to do it. Before coming out my... I was hardly even taking a wage some month. So worked for them, and the first couple of months went brilliant, and then I just went back to my old ways. It was a case of... He wanted to run it with an iron fist and I didn't want to do that. So it's like if the boys go out to do a job and they make a mistake, he's wanting to charge them for that vinyl. And I'm going, you can't do that. You're meant to be the business. And there was too many, as much as we had a decent relationship, there was too many times where it was a case of we'd come to Locking because I wasn't just going to be the yes man. Like if I thought, no, I'm not doing it, then that was it. So I said to him, I was like, I'm just going to go and start again.
You're pretty much unemployable, eh?
Oh, aye, man. I don't even know if I'd employ myself, man.
You've no choice.
But it's like, now it's a case I've learnt a lot over the years. I was like, I'll start again. I'll learn from my mistakes. And I knew TikTok was going to be a thing. Like, I was like, I see doing videos. I was like, as much as I was cringing doing them, I was like, that's where you want to be. Because educating, and what we do, kitchen wrapping, people need to know what they're buying. Because it's like vehicle wrapping, it's like you've got your truck out there wrapped. if you were going in thinking they were doing a full respray or thinking it was going to come out a brand new truck, then you're going to be disappointed when it comes out as a wrap.
Absolutely, mate.
Aye, so things like that, it's like having to educate them. So it's like, right, we'll do Facebook, we'll do social media, we'll build a brand. And I was like, I'll build a personal brand this time.
Yep.
And that's just, we've no looked back for there. We've took, for the last 7 months, like, I think we probably do about 200 grand.
Yep.
And that's in our first 7 months.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I don't know if I should be saying that on this.
I don't know, but it's no, it's interesting to see, because like the way I've built my business, like TikTok wasn't a thing at the start. Facebook kind of was, but as it's grown, like I'm actually quite intrigued by you guys. It's over on TikTok, and I wasn't really on it, to be honest. And then I went on and I've seen guys like yourself and thought, that's quite interesting. It must be working. And obviously you're saying there that it is you're earning from it, and and everybody's got to go and get their work from somewhere, so there shouldn't be
well, that's it. We're earning more for that than what I've ever earned, even in my previous business.
Yeah.
But it's came with its downfalls as well.
Yep.
I mean, you're getting a lot of backlash for people who are in the industry.
Yep.
Because I'm going out there saying this is how I do it, and because they've been doing it their way for so long, they don't like it.
Yep.
Like, we've got different ways of doing it, so
they feel as though you're kind of upsetting the apple cart a wee bit.
They think they've dictated the market for so long that now I'm coming in and I'm going,
you're a disruptor.
An
influencer and a disruptor in one.
I'm going on telling, so like for instance, so if you're at worktops, I'm telling people you take your sink out.
Yep, I've seen that on your video.
But we've not had one customer reject that in the full time I started back up.
Yep.
But the customer needs to pay to get that done.
Right, okay.
So it's an extra expense. These other guys aren't really liking it, because it means that their business is going to be out an extra expense, or their customer's going to have to pay that bit more.
Yeah. Which
means I'm going to look cheaper again. And the price, and it's not sometimes it's not even about pricing for customers, it's about doing it right.
Getting it right.
And as much as I'm very aware that, see, if you're at the sink, it can be fine. It will be fine. Like, I know it will, but you might have a wee joy in this and that.
Yep.
But it's not quite right.
So it's just a better quality, so you're trying to actually give them a better quality.
And for me this time it was a case of, if I'm putting my face to it, it needs to be as good as it can possibly be.
Well, you're on video, eh? Like, you're out there like that's...
People stop you in Tesco and all that now, and it's like, and people don't think twice that like, it needs to be right if I'm out there putting out a bad job. Because we're putting out a good job and people are telling me it's a bad job. So it's like, it needs to be... We need to be belts and braces.
Absolutely. How did that come about then, the TikTok thing? Did you just pick the phone up one day and go, I'm just going to go for this?
Your man Fraser. Like, just going on TikTok, watching him.
Sort of inspired that a bit?
100%, man. It's like, and I've said this to him as well. Like, what he was doing, I was like, he's the first person I've ever seen going on. I mean, I'm not saying he's made it up now. He's probably copied somebody at some point. But in general, he's the first person I've seen who would be open about what products he's using. He'd be open about pricing. He would be very, very transparent about everything that he's doing. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, I'd buy off him. Like, if I was looking for a bathroom, he's telling you
the truth. It's like,
exactly. So he's going to come out. If he's telling you something's no worth putting in your kitchen, then you would listen to him. And I'm like, that's what I wanted to do. I was like, that's exactly what kitchen. If you're going to do a kitchen wrapping business, that's what you need to do. You need to educate and find the right person for your customer.
So your customers through TikTok can already sort of buy into you before, well, they're not going to come to you if they've already seen.
So our thing is now, see when we're going out to home visits, our conversion rate's through the roof. More often than not, you're getting people at the door and they're buzzing to see you. It's like, oh, Alex, it's like nice to meet you. Been watching your videos.
That's brilliant, eh?
So people are dead open about it. And people, they're very welcoming you into their house. As I've said earlier on, we still run Facebook ads, but we're stopping them now. Because when you're turning up, you're just a company to them. And when we started this again, it was a case of, before we were trying to act like a bigger company than what we were, and you were getting treated like the bigger company than what you were. So if your response times weren't quite within the hour, people were sending you a question marks.
It's quite demanding now, isn't it?
But you were getting what you were putting out there. You're telling people you're this big company, kidding on you've got staff and all that kind of stuff. It's like, you know what it's like, like fabricating fake staff. Like, and I've seen it happen too much, and I was like, no, this time it's going to be very...
We'll be honest.
But we built a system and I'm the only one that can do this in the industry. We built a system that can create a quote for a kitchen wrap in less than a minute, text message you out and send it to your email address.
Wow.
And it gives you all the information that you would possibly need about kitchen wrapping, and it gives you a link to the website where you can learn about it.
That's interesting.
So it's like we can send out 100 inquiries while I'm doing this podcast, and I wouldn't have seen any one of them.
Wow.
But all these people have all had a text message with a link to book for me to come out and see them.
Yep. And is that from your computing days then? So
Aye. So, and it's basically, I always compare it to like we buy any car.
Yep.
It's like they don't look at every motor.
Yep.
But they know that they need to estimate millions.
Mm-hmm.
So our thing is, it's like we can generate as many leads as we want. We're no limited by staff.
Yep.
It's just a wee algorithm. It goes into the spreadsheet. It calculates how many doors you'll get, how many doors you'll go, how much it will cost us to do that, how much final we need, how much we look to make after that.
Yep.
And it puts a wee email together, emails you, and it'll text message you as well.
Pretty good.
And it's like, for us, I think that's what makes us one more work as well.
Difference. And is it quite accurate then? Can it get it wrong? Or?
99.9, well, maybe not that accurate, but 99% of the time. I had a guy last night who had messages saying, so people will be cheeky on TikTok.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got a quote for 1,500 quid for a 4-door kitchen. And then you tried to cold call me after emails and texts. Like, no, you asked us for a quote, we sent you a text because you asked us for the quote, and we also sent you an email just in case you never get the text.
Yep.
And then what we were doing is people were complaining that they weren't getting it. And I'm like, you did get it, I know for a fact you did. You just got your spam or you put in the wrong phone number. So now it's a case of we try and phone them, and then we know if it's the wrong phone number. But it's the phone calls basically just,
did you get that quote?
Did you get it? It's no, do you want to buy it? It's a case of
hard selling or that. It's just a case.
We've got a virtual assistant, Arisha, and she just phoned. She's like, I'm just checking to see if you got it. I did get it. Your price isn't what I wanted. Well, let me speak to Alex and I'll see, because I've not seen your kitchen, but I want to know you're serious about it before I go wasting my time speaking to you. So
fair enough.
That's what we do with that. Now we're getting people, I've got a guy moaning that is saying we're cold calling him.
Aye.
So that's not even a cold call, mate. You gave me your number.
You can't, win.
You asked me to phone you.
And what about more into the hate then about TikTok? Is it I take it's pros and cons then? What's
the thing is, there's more pros to it than there is cons, but you need to grow your skin thick quick. Like, because people go straight to the bone.
And do you think that's cause of the platform it is? Like, you wouldn't get that on LinkedIn, for example. Do you know, that's the other end of the scale. But
aye, people wouldn't say that on LinkedIn because people want to kid on that they're supporting you on LinkedIn. Like, I'm not a fan of LinkedIn because I will do it, but like, I'll put something on it and I don't really put much thought into it. And if I spell something wrong and I post it and somebody's right, you spelled that wrong. And it's like...
So it's a wee bit more a professional approach as opposed to...
With TikTok, it's maybe too professional for what I'm trying to do, but with TikTok, it's like... people will go on and they'll not think twice of saying that. I had somebody on calling me a robber, saying you'll get cancelled because you're out there robbing old women. And I was like, most of my customers come for TikTok, they're not even old women anymore. It's like the Facebook ads are all older people, but the TikTok ones are people that are between 30 and 45 who maybe just bought a house and things like that. So all of a sudden now we're getting a customer that, and we're doing what Fraser always did, we're talking about how much you're going to look to pay.
You're being transparent with it and saying how you're doing the job. And what about, I seen you doing like so do you make the doors and that as well if people need new doors and stuff? I think I seen you getting a wee bit of hate about that as well.
A bit, mate. Like, honest to God, you wouldn't believe it. So one of the things in kitchen wrap is, like, if you go into somebody's kitchen and they've got a door that's got a groove on it, you can't wrap it. And I don't care what bloody user 999 whatever says, you can't wrap it. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, you can't do it.
Is this into the wee grooves? Like, does it just stay in there?
What is, it's like vehicle wrapping. It's like you can go into the groove, but if you're stretched it in, if they heat the vinyl, get a memory, it can pop back out. That happens to vehicle wrappers every day, and they're always fixing it. But they've got prime. Their surface is a lot better for it. The surface we're doing, it's on wood, so you can prime it. You can do whatever you want. But then to get it to the standard that it would need to be to sell as a business, you would need to be spending half an hour a door. And at which point customers aren't going to pay that, because then you give them a price and it's like, I'm not buying that, that's mental. So then what used to happen was you would get a 2mm board, you would cut it to the size of the door, and you would stick it on the top of it and then wrap it. But all of a sudden now your door's 2mm thicker and it's heavier and it's got sharp edges on it and stuff like that. So it was great at the time. but it just wasn't good enough. And then I seen the guy that I was working for, he was using 18mm melamine MDF. Didn't want to tell anybody that. It's like gatekeeping how you make those. I mean, I don't care, I'll tell people because I want people to know what it is we're doing. So I was like, right, I was buying them off him, but the prices were just, like, they were getting a cut of every job you were doing. The prices were that high that you couldn't put a markup on it without feeling like you were robbing the customer. So I was like, I'll make my own. Like, how hard can it be? So I went and bought all the kit for it. I spent all my savings. Any money I'd made in the first 3 months of business, I put that right back into it. Bought all the stuff, found a supplier of the boards, and that was fine doing it, running brilliant. Went to go and get more, walked in, and the guy that was supplying them to me was like, I can't sell to you. I was like, what do you mean you can't sell to me? And I think my heart's going hang with, because I was trying to be calm, right? I was trying not to be the way I can be sometimes, right? Like, lose the heat, like, just go like daft. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I was like, mate, you're going to have to explain yourself a bit better to me. Like, you're telling me you're not going to sell to me. I can't sell these ones to you because they're bought in for another company and they've complained that you're buying them. And I was like, right. I was like, well, how many do I need to buy so that you can buy them in for me? And they're the exact same as what you're doing for him? No. I was like, so it's not that you can't sell, you're just not going to sell because they've complained. He's like, aye. And the stuff was like hen's teeth, you couldn't get it. So I was like Pretty Woman, man. I'm like, right, you're getting it, man. Went out to the car park, phoned a branch out in Edinburgh, and told them exactly what happened, because at the time, calmed myself down, spoke to them, and they said, no, that's ridiculous, we'll sell them to you. We'll sell the exact same stuff. And I was like, can I pick them up for there? I'm like, no. Because I was dying to go back in to get them. I was dying to just come in the van and just sit there with a big smug face. And it's like, no, but what we'll do is we'll get them delivered to you. So they got them delivered to my house. And then that was us back up and running again.
It's quite sneaky tactics, that one, eh?
I know, but that's what, the only reason they would never have known that I was buying that stuff if I hadn't been so out there on TikTok.
So that's
so that's the downfall about this. It's like everybody's getting to like anybody. It's not even competition, mate. It's like roofing. There's hundreds of roofs. How many roofs are in the country? It's like there's work here for everybody.
If you try and keep your wee secret idea, it's like
exactly.
What, you're going to get 2 extra roofs at you.
Exactly. It's like for us, there's a constant flow of work. So that's how I didn't think that anybody would try and stop you like that, but it turns out people did. But we've got that sorted now. We're getting all the doors and we're giving people a good rate. Because it means that we don't lose the work that to them. You know what I mean? It just means so now all of a sudden it just came back to bite them.
That's pretty good. And what's see, like the software itself that you've built, is that like can other people use that, or is it like just solely for you guys?
It's just solely for us. I mean, we are opening it. We have thought about opening it up to other trade guys in the area. So the idea about kitchenwrapper.com is, if you go to kitchenwrapper.com, it's not just me you're getting. So for instance, there's areas that I don't cover. But I've got deals with guys. So I've got a deal with a guy out this way. And if a quote comes in, it will take your postcode and it will automatically, the job will go to him. And he'll be the one that comes out to see you. It wouldn't be me that comes out to see you. But that came with the same problems as well.
They'll be disappointed if they've been watching your TikTok.
So people are like,
Alex?
You're no Alex, you know what I mean? So then I had to start educating people on that. But the idea of kitchenwrapper.com is, it's like these guys are all out doing kitchens. They can't be bothered doing quotes at night. So the way we've built this, well, we say me, the way I've built it is that I could add you to that. I just need to add your details to a spreadsheet, what regions you're covering, and any quotes that come in, you'll hang with. So we've got guys doing south that are slowly but surely coming onto it.
That's quite interesting.
And then the idea is that they would just pay a subscription so that they never need to sit and manually send out quotes again.
Makes sense.
And the brand can get big enough where it's like comparing the market in it. It's like, so people don't even need to shop about for a kitchen wrap. They just know that if they go in that, get a price, it's going to be a really good price, it's going to be a brand, and it's going to be an installer that we can stand by.
And is there any other platforms you operate on, or is it TikTok the main one?
TikTok, mostly. I'm on Instagram, but
Do you think you've found your niche in TikTok then? That's your audience. If they see you, I guess you post every day.
I post every day, mate.
Multiple times a day?
I'll post about 10, 15 times a day.
Oh, is that right? That's
like,
crazy.
I'm relentless with it. So it's like, what I'll do,
it's just part of like your business.
So it's like, if I get up in the morning, when I get in the van, I'll maybe do a couple of video replies to somebody before I go driving away. And then what I can do is, during the day, I can just get my phone out, just post it. So
that's just like people sending emails all day. Like, it's just a different form of communication. And can you see you growing it more then? Is it?
Oh, definitely, man. We'd gone to the moon with us. It's like, we weren't going to originally. Like, I said to my wife, I was like, no, I'll just go. I'll do 2 kitchens a week. That's me. I'll be happy.
Yep.
We're doing 6 kitchens a week now.
6, that's crazy.
It's like, and I convinced myself that I was only going to go to the 2 kitchens a week where it would just be me doing the installs. I wasn't going to have any staff. Now we're advertising for staff. We're trying to find people.
Yep.
We can't find people to do it.
How do you train them in that?
That's the problem, innit? It's the biggest thing is you train these guys up, and it's that easy to go and start up. Like me, it's the easiest business to go and start up. Because you don't need any. What's your first investment? You can go out and do it in a car. All you need to do is find a supplier for the vinyl. And take your deposit off your customer. Buy vinyl. It's like painting and decorating. It's probably one of the cheaper side of things to set up.
That's probably where you've maybe got the unique standpoint from building the personal brand then, and people are maybe buying into you. So
we posted a video saying we're looking for somebody to come work with us. We've accepted that we probably need to train them, but they need to have at least some skill set. They need to be able to use a drill. Like, I can't train somebody how to take doors off and things like that. The learning curve with that's just going to be too much. But with the RAM, 6 months to a year of doing that, then you'd
like some form of kind of a handyman type person that really wants to learn.
Well, that's what we're looking for. Somebody that maybe like myself, it's just didn't have the opportunity when they left school, but they knew they could do it. It's like that. We've got everything set up for them. We've got the van set up, all the tools set up. Everything's set up for that right person to get out and start hitting the road with us to learn.
That's brilliant.
There's training programs down south that we can send them on tomorrow. We've got great deals with the suppliers. They want to work with us now. So that's just where we're going to keep rinsing, repeating that person. To the point where if anybody's wanting a kitchen wrap, there'll only be one name in the game, not us.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. And from my point of view, so like my brand has probably been a wee bit more corporate, more kind of professional. It's more built around LinkedIn, and like we've started a TikTok, and it's getting like a wee bit of traction, but no much. I'm not posting anything like what you're doing. Like, do you think that I'll have the same problem as you would have jumping over to LinkedIn, that you maybe find?
I think on LinkedIn there'll be a lot of people who just won't take me serious enough.
But like, see the opposite way, do you think I'll struggle on TikTok because like I'm a wee bit more?
Just depends what your content's going to be. It's like so. I say like, we could spend 2 hours making a video showing people this amazing kitchenware app, going into great detail, and then somebody trolls us saying something, and we reply to it. But obviously, it's like, I'm not as bad as what Fraser is. I've seen him, like some of the stuff he's saying to people, you're going, I'm not going that bad. But it's like you can give them a professional reply. And then what you find is you start getting people who are following you, who back you up, who start defending what you're doing. And TikTok doesn't know what you're talking about. They just know there's a video that's getting loads of hits. And that's what ends up putting your following up.
That's quite good. That must be quite comforting that there's folk that's like actually replies and says, no, this is good with this.
I mean, I'm getting messages every day off people, and it's like, how did you start up? How did you do this? How did you do that? And I'm the last person you should be asking for advice. Like, because I'm still very, you
can learn for everybody. We're
only really 7 months into running this business. Like, we've got a lot of learning to do ourselves. It's like, so I can give them tips on like the vinyl and stuff like that.
Such a modern day business. Like it really is. Like when I started, that was probably just close on 11 years ago. And it was literally, I started it with a Facebook page. Like that was just coming about at the time. And you got like a Facebook business page. Like this stuff would have been, like, imagine I'd started doing videos then, people would have been like, what? It'd have been crazy. Do you know, you'd have thought, that'll never happen, but now it's just like
it's
so
like
normal.
You watch the old videos from back in the day, innit? It's like corporate videos, and it's like people storing, you're like, oh, that's so bad. We'll probably look back in the videos that we're doing now. And
I know, they'll be like, they sat and done podcasts,
man. Can't believe you've done a podcast.
I know, absolutely. Well, I'm hoping, obviously, like you mentioned, Fraser Hooley, he was on, and yourself, and the way I've kind of seen it is, like I'm a businessman as well, and you always look out to the market and see what's happening. You look at TikTok and you guys are having success over there, so it's kind of, it wouldn't be right to ignore it. And I think what hopefully this podcast will be able to do for people is like, this is a side that maybe not have seen to you because Do you know that's it's a bit more long form content. They're maybe getting to hear about, like, because although you'll do loads of them videos, it's like if you're out and about in your van, you're probably not going to say, by the way, this is how I got on at school, or this is how I got, like, how did you learn to build that software? Well, it was because you'd done the computing stuff and that gave you a wee bit of things back then. So I don't know how it'll be received, if I'm honest, mate, but it's just
depends. It's like how much you embrace it as well. It's like, I remember the first couple of trolls I was getting, I was like, I was trying to private message them. Like, who are you talking to? You know what I mean? It's like, I've got a guy that used to work for me, and he like, I don't know if he gets drunk and just turns into a wee troll or whatever, and like, it's like, what's your problem? It's like, I see you talk about it with our pals, and then it's like, I don't...
And he's just thinking that, like, that's no real on there or something, or it'll be fine if I pass him in the street.
Well, that's
not remember
if I'm going to do it, like, and like my first videos, if you're watching them back, it's like, the way I'm talking and things like that is very, like, my phone voice. But then I was getting WhatsApps off my pals, and it's like, listen to the state of you. And it's like, it's for my business, and you were constantly, see now, any of these pals that were slagging me, they're all, oh, you're doing brilliant, mate, you're doing brilliant. And the more natural my speech got. So now I get slagged for people not understanding me. And it's like, I'm a regional company with a regional accent. If you can't understand me, then you're not my customer. Like, I didn't want you in the first place. So... But if you embrace it, you just need to, when you get the trolls, because they will come. Like Fraser, the troll. Me and him done videos together, reaction videos, and I was getting people private messaging me to give him abuse because he had blocked them. And I sent him the screenshot of it, and he's like, aye, that guy is relentless. And the guy just went through every single one of my videos, slagging Fraser, and then slagging me, to the point where I had to block the guy, because it's like, I don't mind having a wee bit to and from with you, but some of the stuff that people will say to you on it, it's just ridiculous.
And is this people with, like, blank profiles?
Well, this one had a Donald Duck profile picture or something like that, and I just generic username.
That's horrible, eh?
Aye, and it's like, I was like, you must know the guy or
and
something.
Does that not psychologically do something to you? Do you ever wonder, like, I wonder if that's somebody I know and they've created that profile?
Well, maybe not as much me, but the boy David that I'm with, he gets really angry for it. He's convinced it's this person, it's that person. Like, he takes it a lot more to heart.
Pretty evil, that.
And it's hard not to take it to heart as well, because sometimes, like, somebody was saying that I was a robber. Like, I'm out robbing people, I'll get cancelled.
That's horrible, eh?
And it's like, you're going, I'm no, because I know for a fact that if I go into somebody's kitchen and I look at it and I go, I couldn't possibly charge you that price for it, even though you've got the quote at that price, and these people are going to book in at that price. I'm looking at it and I'm going, I can't, because it's just, there's a limit to how much profit you want. I'll make off a job before you go, no, that is taking the mic.
So you've got a bit of a conscience, like, it's, I get what you mean.
That's exactly,
like,
a conscience.
If somebody came to me and went, I've got 25 grand to spend on my roof, like, you didn't make it like 24,995. Ken, you didn't, you just you go away, you get, like, our surveyors, they price it right, they see what it is, and if it comes in it's 18 grand or whatever, you're like, well, it's 18, and the customer might well be like, oh, that's great, could you maybe do my guttering as well, or this, because I've got a wee bit of budget.
That's the way we look at it, and I spent way too much to, like, I'm not going out to jobs just plucking a number out my head. Like, you always hear the old thing where, like, or you turn up to somebody's house if it's a gated community, you're charging them extra for it. We don't do that.
What's your markup on them ones?
Aye, exactly. We don't do that. If you've got a 10-door kitchen, the neighbours, like, it's a 10-door kitchen, that's us, that's it. We've got a spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, we just put in all overheads, how much I need to earn a year to make it worth my while. So I've got my salary built into the overheads. Everything's in it, and then it spits out with my day rate, and then it goes, how many kitchens realistically can you do a week? And then that's the number that it starts at before materials. So then,
sounds fair enough.
So you've got that number, you'll start it. If you go in and say you've got a 12-door kitchen, it works out, well, on average, how many metres of vinyl do we need for that? Then it puts a bit extra on for wastage, because it happens. And then that's how we get the price. So we don't get to just go out and make it. And that's it. But if I go to somebody's house and we've charged them for 2 days labour, and it's only going to take 4 hours, then I'm going to bring the price down. The customer wouldn't even know it.
They wouldn't even ask or question it.
But TikTok would know it as well. And then you're going, I'm no and then it's just your conscience comes into play. And it's...
No, that's pretty good. That's quite a brave thing that you're doing, mate. I actually take my hat off to you, because it's... like, I've seen a lot of your stuff on TikTok and some of the hate and stuff as well, but it's good to see the support. But it's one of these things, it's like you said, you've got to have thick skin, and if you're going for it and you're going to do it, then you better be prepared for both sides.
It's like we've sent out something like 6,000 inquiries, unique inquiries, in the last 7 months. And it's like, see, before it took us years to kind of do that kind of stuff. So it's like we don't need to fight for the work as much anymore.
Yep.
So for us, it's not even a hard sell.
Yep.
But when people are on saying stuff about it, so if somebody goes on and says, "Oh, that's a ridiculous price," see if I do a video replying to that, you'll get people saying, "Well, the guy's got to make a living, the guy's got to do this, the guy like."
So there's always a good versus evil kind of thing.
And then you'll get loads of people that will always just feel the need to go in and say, "Oh, don't even give them the time of day." And you're going, "Trust me, mate, I want to give them the time of day because that's what pushy." Some of my biggest videos are one's replying to trolls or admitting to mistakes.
Wow. So
it's like I done a kitchen for a woman, and it was just at the start of the year when I started up, and I wrapped it the wrong colour.
Oh no.
4 days in this house. It was the biggest kitchen I'd done. 4 days in this house, wrapped it the wrong colour. The woman was on holiday, and it was just the husband that was in, and he didn't think to tell me. He's like, "I didn't know." She get back for holiday, and she's like, "Alex, that's not the right colour." I was like, "Well, you just keep that colour then, and I'll give you a discount." She's like, "No."
Oh no.
But no, she was really lovely about it. She's like, "I didn't want grey, and you've given me a grey kitchen."
Aye.
She wanted an off-white.
Right.
And in the videos, it was so you wouldn't even have noticed the difference. But she noticed the difference. But she was brilliant with me.
Yep.
And the supplier at the time, I explained to them, "Look, this is what's happened." And they're like, "Well, it's kind of our fault as well. We've sent you the wrong colour and the wrong box." I was like, "Thank God." I was like, "It's not just me." They sent the vinyl came out and there was a mix up with the box.
Oh really? Right. Okay.
So I've looked at the box. It's been the right code, but when I've took it out, the colours have been that close that I've not noticed.
Yep.
So,
but it wasn't like miles away on colour, so you wouldn't have thought, "Oh, I'm putting this on."
Most customers wouldn't have noticed. I don't think they would have noticed.
Yeah.
But she did.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of her biggest feud
that's
videos.
Insane. Because you done the right thing and made it right.
I'm just saying because I've done a video about it, saying to everybody, "I'm an idiot, this is what I've done." And see the amount of work that we got off the back of that mistake more than paid for itself.
Yeah,
like
brilliant.
It was crazy the amount of work it came off it.
Good, mate. And then, so if anybody's want to get in touch with you, just jump onto TikTok. I take it that's the place.
Don't even contact me through TikTok, man.
No,
like, honestly, it's just go to kitchenwrapper.com.
Aye,
so if anybody's want to get a quote, you go to kitchenwrapper.com, you fill in the form, and that's you. It'll text message you, it'll email you, and we'll even give you a wee phone just to make sure that you got it. And if you don't want in the phone call, you can say, "No, I don't want it," and hang up the phone. We'll never touch and contact you again.
Good man. Thanks for coming on, mate. Good stuff.